Hey, this is Mike Chambers. I'm at Reactivate headquarters in Aarhus, Denmark. I'm sitting here with Ralph Hauwert. Ralph, how's it going?
Very good.
So, Ralph, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Ralph Hauwert. I'm one of the founders and programmers and consultants at Reactivate, and I'm one of the people working on Papervision3D.
Right. So why don't you tell us what is Papervision3D? I mean, I'm sure everyone out there knows about it. It's like some of the coolest stuff going on in the Flash and ActionScript world today, but just in case like someone just came back from the moon or something.
I think Arel Balkan said it best at OVLA too. A project most likely to get you laid.
Yeah.
Papervision has turned out to be real sexy for developers in terms of it brings a new dimension to the web, it brings a new dimension to Flash, and it brings a lot of fun to Flash.
Right.
Basically what it is a 3D API for Flash. So this allows you to create 3D in a, well, relatively easily way for Flash without having to go into all the math, without having to go into like X, Y, Z very hard. And it allows you to create 3D content for the web. Well, it's basically ActionScript 3 now, and the power and benefits of ActionScript 3 really stand out with Papervision.
Right. Well, I can imagine, especially something like this. I know when you guys first released some of your first demos, I was in the office and going around talking to some of the engineers. Everyone's looking at this, and to be honest, we're blown away that you guys were able to, that anyone was able to pull this stuff off in the player. So. And kudos to you, it's like awesome stuff.
Well, we really all enjoy, like, I was almost ready to stop with Flash because of like the speed with ActionScript 2, and the AVM2 is really like awesome and brings us a whole new set of features. I mean, we're pushing it, so we're really looking forward to what Flash 10 is going to bring and everything.
Right, so do you have an example you show us, give us an idea?
Yeah, well basically we're on the verge of releasing Papervision 2.0. Papervision 2.0 has one feature a lot of people have been asking about, and that's shaders, which is lights and smooth lighting. And this is a demo of a ball rotating, nothing real special. It has environment mapping, so that makes actually a reflection of the environment around it. But it has a cool little thing to it, which is called bump mapping. And this is the first example using dynamic bump maps, which is running a water simulation.
Right. And this is all happening dynamically through the ActionScript 3 library?
This is all ActionScript 3. This is nothing like outside or everything. This is all 100% Flash. This will be running on the web tomorrow. And
so how's performance? I mean, it looks really good here. Is this actually like, is performance usable in a project, or?
This will be usable for a project. I mean, the thing is, Flash was never built for 3D. It's in its base, and so we've been working real long to kind of get the best out of Flash and trying to get it to render as fast as possible. And of course, this is particularly heavy because of the water simulation, so this might not be the best example of performance. But with all the stuff out there already happening, we're pretty confident we're on the right direction in terms of like production-ready stuff.
Right. Now, can you bring in like models from other tools, like modeling tools?
And so Tim is one of the members, and he's been working on AS Collada. We already import Collada, which is this file format founded by Sony and is now owned by the Kronos Group. It's an open format, which is really good like, for the community. And that basically hooks into Maya, 3D Studio Max, it hooks into Blender, like all the major 3D apps are actually exporting to that. And with the new Papervision, you'll be able to actually create an animation in 3D and import it, and like without no problems, you're running your 3D animation and with an interface, and that's really important for Papervision. It's similar to Flash, so you kind of have go to and play on a 3D animation.
Right, so you have like a Z-axis now.
Yeah, so basically we added Z to Flash, but we also added the opportunity to work with these 3D packages. And for me as a developer, that's been a big step. But for a designer who's already familiar with these packages, the whole idea is that we separate design from code again, which has been a big gap in the 3D, like Flash 3D community, where only developers can do 3D and designers are not really able to hook in there. We now have a solid industry standard workflow again, where the designer does the design and the developer does the development. I'll show you one example of something which is called the ISM, the Interactive Scene Manager. In the side here, which is just a move clip we'll use as a source, and two 3D objects, a very low polygon sphere and a plane. And here we'll just see the normal 2D interactivity. And without doing too much, that's actually ported to 3D. So the interactivity still works on the 3D plane. And you don't really have to do anything for that. You just have to like specify the movie clip, which will be used as a material, and specifies it's interactive.
And so that could be anything in a movie clip. So that could be a video or some animation.
Whatever you want.
Oh wow! Yeah. So what's the roadmap for Papervision3D?
So we're not far away of releasing version 2.0, which I just showed you a little preview of, and that will actually Well, make it faster. That's one of the most important things. And we can only go so far with going faster. And luckily, Adobe is really helping out lately with stuff like integrating bit mapping in the Flash player and integrating multi-core CPU support so you can render fast enough.
Right, and you guys are in touch with the player team?
We're in good touch with the player team.
Cool.
What we're trying to do for Papervision is at least make sure that the execution time on ActionScript is as least as possible.
Right.
So actually today we already reached a new milestone in performance, and basically if you look at the deep inside core of Papervision, that's really optimized for speed. That's where we want to go with that. And with the API, which is like exposed to the developer, we want to make sure that that's easy and you don't have to worry about like optimizations anymore.
So what's the time frame? Like when come on, when are we gonna get it?
I'm so scared of saying that. Well, basically, when I released the first shader demos, which is now essentially become 2.0, that was somewhere beginning of this year, and I've got a lot of slack of people going like, dude, why do you show it and not give it? And I'm sorry about that, honestly. But I'm thinking in December we'll start Papervision 2.0 trainings. So that might be an indicator of where we're going with that.
Great.
One of the things we do about Papervision and the performance and everything is that it's production driven. So we build it as we go. And one of my private projects has been this really cool application called EarthMine, which is basically a lot of the Papervision performance increases came from this application. And these guys were okay with porting some of the stuff back, so that's really cool. And EarthMine is indexing reality. So that means that this environment, although it might look like something like Google Street View or something, it's really Google Street View on steroids. Right. EarthMine is actually like walking around with a map in your hand on the streets. And here you see our 2D map, which is like the location where you're at. And behind there we have a 3D view of that point in the street where you're standing. So you can actually look around. The connection is letting me down a little bit.
But you're streaming in those images, it looks like?
Yeah, it's streaming in high resolution images, which are extremely high resolution.
Right. And is this a production app today?
This is an early alpha of what we're working on, and I think EarthMine is aiming to release somewhere at the end of this year, maybe a little bit earlier. One of the coolest things I've seen so far is the Sony Bravia site, which is basically built by Carlos, who's actually the founder of the Papervision project. So this is our 3D interface, and here's how you navigate around.
And this is all Flash and Papervision and ActionScript 3.
Yes, this is real time.
Running on the web today. Pretty much everyone in the world can see this.
I think it's 91% of people who can just see streaming 3D like this, with this kind of quality.
Performance is amazing.
So it allows you to go in, and then go back. Play the little video, stop the video, go out, and go back into the studio where everything's
amazing stuff. So you give us the Papervision URL one more time?
It's blog.papervision3d.org, and it's www.papervision3d.org.
Well, thanks for your time talking to us about this. Thanks for all the work for everyone on the Papervision team. Amazing stuff. It's really taking Flash player in the community to the next level. So thanks a lot.
I really hope that people have been watching will join our mailing list, will give us feedback, show us the links, and thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.